So hello everyone, like I mentioned in the video before, I'm going to record the third clearance of the World 3 in one sitting to show you how I'm fast clearing, how fast you actually clear a world when you do it the third time. And like some kind of strategy to continue fast, I guess. So let's begin. At the beginning, like you see, my automator is turned on. I turned it off, and I'm turning that off because mana, like you see here, energy and mana are not too high in the beginning, so you are kind of not able to afford to waste that. All I do is activate Clickstorm, because Clickstorm makes me attack 2.5 times per second, like it says, and because of that you can see this little fire behind the character. It just skips this running and continues fast. The only thing you have to be aware of when you do this is to use the energize skill and to not let the clickstorm fall, because this will slow down everything by far. So I just got a level up, so I'm gonna just upgrade this quickly. Even though I've gotten this, I'm going to go for this 3 upgrades. It's the item cost reduction and the haste. So I think I'm gonna go for the haste first. So yeah, let's continue just clearing. Upgrade everything so we still one hit. I like the stat haste because it just speeds up everything, so I'm gonna go for that. I guess I won't look out for the clickables because it's just going too fast to be able to click on anything. I've seen some other people having trouble deciding how to upgrade the items to maximize damage, I guess. I'm just upgrading everything I can until the point where a piece is at the level 130. After that I'm just not touching that at all until I upgrade it to the next tier. So as you see, progressing is pretty fast, especially when you keep up with the upgrading, so that you one hit every single monster. What I also can mention is that the kind of bosses that are at the end of every zone, I guess, these are not actual bosses, so this boss gold does not apply to them, and you could see it if I was going a little bit slower, but you can see that by the symbol before, which is in front of the HP bar of the monster. if the symbol is just a normal white one, it's just a normal monster, not a boss. So only the bosses that are at the end of each 25th zone are actual bosses with the timed zones. So don't confuse that. Other than that, I guess I don't have to mention anything. I could mention some obvious things like the smaller the creep, the smaller the HP bar, the less HP they have. But I guess this is pretty obvious. So just to make clear, if anyone didn't notice or know, I hope this continuous upgrading of the items is not too loud. I've lowered this volume a lot of times already, and it still feels a little bit like it's too loud. Other than that, if there are some special wishes, I guess, something I should show, please comment, please tell me. If there's anything interesting you want to see. I know there are a lot of other YouTubers making videos about the beta, especially the walkthrough series of the guy, I forgot how it's called, but he's cooperating with the devs of Clicker Heroes 2, so you can check him out. Personally, I mean, I don't like this series just because it's not educational for me. I mean, I'm a lot farther than he is, so I'm not actually learning anything from watching his series. That's why I don't really like or enjoy it. Some other stuff that might be valuable is you get energy for every auto attack you do. So for every auto attack the character does, and multi-click and so forth don't count as an auto click or as an auto attack, you get energy. So if you have a lot of haste, you attack pretty fast and you won't run out of energy even if you will have Clickstorm activated. But we are not at that point right now because we are just kind of at the start. Oh yeah, I can mention that too. This random stats option down here, in my opinion, this is only like worth to consider to get it when you swap from wood to stone, because there are only 2 bonuses, and the chance that you get something good without losing any other bonus is pretty high. But after that, I guess there's no real reason to check what this is giving, because you mostly will lose too much other bonuses. So yeah, that's about it about the random stats. Besides that, I could tell that I will tell it in a second, just let me upgrade really fast. So for the Civ one, for this character, I guess this pathing to the bottom right is the best option because of these upgrades. All of these are upgrading multi-click, especially this one, and because you're going for haste, this is like the best option in my opinion, especially this whole part of the skill 3. You could consider to get actually everything that is in this area, because everything helps or has some kind of upgrades to multi-click or to big clicks or to haste. So everything of that is pretty, yeah, everything of that are pretty good stats for Civ. I mean, when the mage will come out, I guess because he's a mage, he will use a lot of skills, or will be based on skills. So I think for him, if he will have the same skill tree, the option would be to go in here for the mana, for the regeneration of mana and so forth. But we will see how that character works. So as I mentioned, we are a little bit further in the game already, or in the zone, or even world, how you ever wanna call it. And now we don't even have to use energize to not run out of energy, so that's nice. To keep the fast going, we of course have to keep upgrading everything to keep the damage high up. So I'm at 150 mana already, so I'm not gonna go for that, even though this is the best bonus here in my opinion. Because critical hits are dealing a lot of damage already, I'm never going for the critical damage. So I'm gonna go for the gold received, because I already took the boss gold once. Other than that, I'm kind of always prioritizing haste. After that, mana reduction. I mean, I forgot the word. I mean mana regeneration. That's what I mean. I mean mana regeneration. Then my third prioritization is critical chains, and if none of these are available, I'm going for energy. So click damage, I'm not going for that as well, because it only applies to multi-click. But I guess out of these options, click damage would be nice, and I see here that's some rare stuff, I would say. It has these two bonuses, and I'm only losing the 1% bonus gold, so I'm gonna go for that, because bonus gold is kind of I wouldn't say useless, but it's still a low percentage. It's just 1%. 1% won't make the biggest deal. Excuse me, so here I'm gonna go for the treasure chest because clickable gold is not really interesting for me because I'm doing a fast run, and Mina, I already mentioned that I am at 150 already, so I don't need that anymore. What I really like about World 3 is that you might have seen a lot of them already, like that was just right now there. The clickables are pretty easy to see in this world because they are like frozen in ice. But this is only the case for like until zone 50. After that, the visual of the world changes, like you might have seen in the last video, like you will see later on in this one. So here, none of these are interesting to me, to be honest. I think all of the bonuses are kind of shitty, but if I have to choose one of these, and this is the case, I'm going to choose the click damage, I think, because later on in the world I will turn off my automator again, turn on I mean, and multi-click will be used a lot. So here, gold received and treasure chest chance, I don't like those, I'm gonna go for the total energy. And like I say, if an item is on level 130, I don't touch that anymore, because as you see, 0%, 0%, only 5%, and if I'm gonna upgrade these ones, it's only 2%, so it's not worth to invest in those. Especially because if a piece is at level 130, the next pieces are like mostly about 20 to 30 levels behind, and that means that the multiplier of 15 for the item is coming up, and the costs are not too different. So it's giving you much more damage and value for gold when you go for the upgrade on the lower one. So you might have seen I've tried to click a clickable, but because it's going so fast I wasn't even able to click it. Oh yeah, I managed to press the energy totem. That's pretty nice and pretty helpful, because we have full energy again. I have to say I still don't know when the rubies shop is spawning. It seems pretty random to me, besides that it spawns pretty often at the beginning of a world, but other than that, I still haven't realized when it spawns. It's speaking of the devil, here it is. So like I mentioned, the slug rune, for example, I would get that if this would be the first run of the world, but because I'm at the third run already, I'm not gonna spend my rubies on that. I don't know if everyone has noticed, but the rubies that you are getting sometimes from the bosses, you also only get those for the first clearance. The rubies that you get from the monsters, I think you might have seen that already, that you sometimes get 1 ruby from a monster when you kill it. You can get that every run when you kill the monster for the first time. So if you are, for example, at a time-based zone and you haven't managed to clear the time-based zone, and you are trying again, you will not have the chance to get a ruby again. But when you are killing them for the first time, there's always a chance. I don't know how high this chance is, but there's a chance. So also my suggestion is, if you have cleared a world 3 times, you should be able to move to the next one. But I guess that's up to everyone by himself or herself. I haven't done more than 3 by now, but I thought about clearing this world a 4th time. I'm gonna check at the end of this run how much XP every monster is giving me. If this is below, like, let's say 7, I think I'm not gonna bother. I'm just gonna go to world 4. So we leveled up again, and this is pretty nice. What is this? Oh, that upgrade huge clicks. So like I said, I'm gonna get these 2, which are lowering the cost of the items, and when I've gotten this, I'm just gonna start to build up all this area. So yeah. I think I've updated you guys enough, or mentioned everything that I wanted to mention, or that I could even mention. So yeah, that's about it for the strategy I'm using for the Sif character. I really have to stop doing this noise when I don't really know what to say. So sorry about that. So here's again the case where I don't actually like any of those, but I'm gonna go for the click damage. Like I did last time. So I say again, I really have to get rid of this. I'm going to turn on the automator when it will take me about 4 or 5 hits for a monster. I think that should be about at the zone 70, but we will see. So like you see, this little creeps are dying in 1 hit, those big ones are dying about in 4. And this, like you see here, is just a white one, like at all the other monsters too. So this is not a boss, and this boss gold bonus does not apply to them. So far so good. I guess I will be soon at the point where I have to turn on the altimeter. I hope my mana one won't run out before we clear the world. That would kind of slow down the speedrun. I've said it again. I'm sorry. I even forgot what I wanted to say because of this. Right, because this is only the 3rd world, and because the game's like 2 days up, I think, maybe 3. I've lost count. I guess it's 3 days now. I don't have too much experience about the speedruns, so I don't know exactly where I have to turn on the altimeter, but this will change when the early access actually comes out. I mean, when the beta ends, that should be in a few weeks, according to the blog of the devs. And according to the message when I was downloading the game and setting it up. So as you see, it's starting to take a longer time. So I'm going to turn off the altimeter now. I'm keeping saying this is bothering me right now. The key bindings, the default one is T, I guess. It should be T to turn or turn off the altimeter. I've changed it for myself to N, because I've also changed the upgrading item. Like you see here, I'm gonna press W now and my helmet is going to level up. As you saw, now the sword, and I've put that on the Q, W, E, R, T and so forth. So I had to change the altimeter turn on and off from T to another place. This is why my altimeter is turned on or off with N and not T. The only thing why I don't use the key bindings to upgrade is this. I guess that's a bug. I'm not sure. When I press E now, my core breastplate got upgraded, but this little tooltip of the level up is appearing and not disappearing until I hover about another level up button. So that annoys me. That's why I'm still keeping why I still keep upgrading the items with just the mouse. This is going to be another video. That's like 30 to 40 minutes, maybe even a little bit longer. So I'm sorry about that, but I really wanted to show that just at the third clearance of a world, the time you need for that reduces dramatically, like really dramatically. If you consider that I needed about 8.5 hours for the first time to clear this world, and for the second time it was 2 hours 10, which you can see in the previous video. And this should take me about 40 minutes, something around that. But you will see at the end how long it took me. The third run of the second world took me 40... No, I mean the third run for the second world took me 41 minutes, I guess? I think it was 41 minutes. So normally this should be about the same. This is again the case where I don't like anything. So I think I'm just gonna go for the bonus gold chance because it gives more damage than the other two ones. So here critical chance. This is a pretty nice or pretty easy decision for me. Oh, all three are the same. Oh, this happened the first time to me. This is sad, this is really sad, but also makes it a lot easier to decide, right? If you don't have another option. So it looks like I will actually run out of mana before I clear the world. So this is going to slow down things a little bit, but I hope it won't take us too long. So here I'm able to upgrade everything at least once, but I'm going to go for this two first because it's the 10 and the 15 mark, and after that I'm just going to upgrade everything that's possible. So maybe you should keep out for such decisions too, because it just fastens the deal a little bit. I think I'm going to remove the huge click until the boss to not be wasting too much energy. Excuse me. Because we only have 40 mana left and I don't want to run out of mana, or not too quickly. We of course have the reload skill still available, but I don't want to use it this early on, or to make it use it that early on. So I think I'm going to turn off the altimeter after zone 80 for a little while, so we can like collect some mana back to have some mana for the boss fight. So here, because the more or less the only options are total mana or bonus gold chance, I'm gonna go for the total mana because I like the bonus a lot more and it's giving more damage than this one. So this is some kind of case where go for a higher mana pool, even though I was at 150 already. As you might have noticed, I turned off the altimeter. This is why my energy goes up, even though I don't have Energize on. And like I already said, I'm doing this to basically get a little bit of mana back, to have some for the end boss fight. This is of course looking a little bit boring now, because it has slowed down, but we have made some really nice progress, and pretty fast progress, I have to say. So next one is haste. It actually 2 times. Haste with the same damage. That's actually always the case, that the damage is the same if the bonus is the same. So you don't have to check for the damage as well. What you can do when you are collecting mana is to just let it run with Clickstorm on auto attack until the energy is full, or more or less full, and then you can turn on the altimeter again and let it use the energy until it's a little bit over 10% of your energy. Of course, if you are using the same setup as I do, because only then it's going to use the skill Energize. So this will fasten things up 2, and you will still collect mana for the boss fight. So as you see with the automator on, this is going a lot faster, especially because I have I think 2 or 3 times this click damage bonus. So 2 times, 3 times, yeah. I have 3 times the click damage bonus. So here the decision is easy for me too, because it's critical chains. Another reason why I am going for the critical chains instead of the critical damage is because, oh no, I've messed that up. I mean, why I would prioritize critical chains over click damage. I meant click damage is because click damage only applies to multi-click or just to manual clicking, and the critical chains also applies to the auto attack, so your auto attacks can critical strike too. And if you consider that you have clickstorm turned on, you might see that every time Civ attacks there are 2 damage numbers. So every of these 2 damage numbers could crit, and because of that the critical chains is a lot more effective than the click damage. So yeah. I think that's the most of my knowledge about the bonuses and for what to go or which bonuses to take. I am really curious about the other character, the mage one, because I'm questioning that there will be another skill tree. If you look at this skill tree, this is not even huge anymore, this is just massive. And if every character would have a new skill tree, this would be too much work in my opinion. And because there are also different paths, like here I would say this region is mostly for a character like Civ. This region right here with the mana and so forth. So yeah, I'm sorry, I was just reading, that's why I stopped talking. As you have seen by these descriptions, this is more like a skill-based setup. So this is why I'm kind of questioning that there will be another skill tree for another character. But because I'm not sure, I'm curious if this is the case or if there actually will be another skill tree and this skill tree is just made only for Civ and to have some different game playing styles. So I'm at full energy again, going to turn on the automator again until my energy is nearly empty. good thing now is that because it's not going too fast anymore, we are able to collect at least some of the clickables. So there's the ruby shop again, and like I said, I don't know when it's coming. So here are the other two runes, luck rune and the power rune, which I am using for the first time clearance of a world. Because when you are clearing a world for the first time, I mean, I've said it already, the first clearance of the world 3 was 8.5 hours for me, and it was 8.5 hours for me, even though I had all of the three runes like pretty much at the beginning. So if you wouldn't get them, this would take, I guess, more than the double of the time, because this rune here gives plus 100 damage, so you're basically dealing double the damage. And if you are not dealing double the damage, I guess it's going to take about double the time. So this is why I would just shout out to you guys and say that consider buying these runes when you're clearing a world for the first time, maybe even for the second time if you have enough rubies. So I'm nearly out of mana. Oh, I was even once out of mana. Oh, out of energy. I don't know why I'm keeping calling energy mana, because the energy skill was on. So that's my bad that I haven't realized that, because I was talking. So here I don't like any of these, so I'm just gonna go with the one which has the most damage. So we are on zone 91 already, so this is not going to take too long anymore. So stay with me, guys. This is going to have an end soon. So I'm just gonna turn on the automator again, because I'm close to being full energy, and because until the energy runs out I will be at about 80 mana. I'm actually not sure if I should go for mana regeneration now, because I'm like 8 zones away from clearing the world, so I'm just gonna go for the critical chance. So I'm not going to turn off the automator now anymore. I think 80 mana plus the reload skill should be enough to get to the boss and to beat the boss. especially when you look at the killing time, or the time I need to kill one of the monsters by now. I have to remember to put huge click back on into the automator when I'm going to get close to the boss fight. Oh, I missed the big click about, that's sad. It would have given us a good chunk of gold. So what I also can say, if anyone even watched this far, that I don't have a like schedule for uploads. I'm just uploading when I feel like uploading, when I feel like an interesting moment is happening, or when I have something interesting to show. So I won't say that I'm going to be uploading every day or every second day. It might be that there will be at some point like 2 or 3, even 3 videos at like one day or in one day, and then after that there won't be videos for 3 days. But it also might be the case that I'm just going to be uploading every day because the interesting parts are just luckily happening every day. So yeah, that's about it. So it actually looks like I actually will run out of mana before we hit the boss. That's kind of sad, but I guess I have to turn off the automator for a bit again. So Energize is running out. I'm nearly max energy. So I'm just gonna use the automator again until it's nearly empty. So when this piece is at level 100 and this one at 80, or when I will be able to upgrade this to 80, I will be about able to get a new item, a new sword. As you see, after Mithril, the next one is Crystal. I actually haven't gotten further than the sword and the helmet of the crystal, because then mostly the world is cleared for me. This might change with these upgrades, which I have shown. Where are they? These ones. If the item costs will get reduced, then maybe I will be able to get a breastplate of the crystal too, or maybe even also the ring, until I'm done with the world. So I'm gonna go for gold received, just to maximize a little bit of the gold before we get to the boss. Oh, this is taking a little bit longer than I expected. Oh, nice. I love this one. Especially because it's not only giving 10 rubies, it also gives a lot of gold. It was only enough for us to get like one upgrade, but yeah, it helped a lot, even though it looked like it was just a little bit. So I'm close to 60 mana, my energy is pretty high. I'm going to turn on the automator again and just leave it turned on. If my mana is gonna run out before the boss, then that's the case. Then I will be a little bit screwed, but I want to get this done. At least in less than an hour. So as I see, I'm going to be able to beat the zone at the first try, so that's some nice news, or that are some nice news. It's giving me confidence about that we might actually be able to beat the end boss at the first trial too. But if I think about it, we were able to beat the boss at the first try and the second run too, so there shouldn't be a reason why I wouldn't kill it. So, like I said, I will put the huge click back on when I'm at the boss. So, good thing I did not forget that. As you might see, my automate is pretty fast. It's actually double the speed of the normal automator, because I got all of these 4 upgrades. So yeah, and we are definitely going to be able to beat the boss in time. And like you see here, this icon is completely different, so this is considered a boss, and on this one applies this, where is it? Here, the 200% boss gold. Someone might ask why I am actually getting this if it only applies to these bosses. Normally you wouldn't be able to kill it at the first attempt, and because you will get this gold after you fail and you will upgrade your items to try again, this bonus will help a lot. So we have beaten the boss, we have cleared the world just in a little under 1 hour, so that took me longer than I expected, but here it is. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a nice day or night whenever you're watching, and see you in next video.